like Gordon Brown are openly talking about it at the G20, saying that it's emerging. It was openly talked about 10, 15 years ago all over the place, and then it kind of died down because people got hip to it, that they were going to lose their sovereignty, that it was going to become an international organization that took away their Constitution and Bill of Rights, so it's been repackaged, under a new face, a new name. Well, China's out there calling for a new economic order, a new world financial order, a new central bank system. And what you'll see is an amalgamation probably of the IMF and the Federal Reserve. Really, you saw that after the G20 when they started issuing these SDR, special drawing rights units that is the global currency. However, you got the president of Pakistan, and we're going to be playing another clip of him later, saying that the Taliban wants a new world order. So why am I covering this? Well, the Taliban could give a rat's ass about a new world order, okay? They've said, these guys are Muslim extremists. They're hardline Muslims. They believe that everybody should follow their religion, and that is dangerous. There's no doubt that that's dangerous, and especially in those regions. I am not for those policies or politics. That's why we have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the right to worship what we want. And I want that in this country. I know a lot of you out there, this is a Christian nation. That's great. Christians, I love you. I like a lot of Muslims too. I have friends that are into the Muslim religion, that were raised Muslims. So what? Jewish. Who cares? I got a lot of Jewish friends from college, that practice. They go. They believe in this stuff. I have a ton of atheist friends too. I got Catholic friends. As much as Catholicism to me may be a little bit over the top. I mean, I love these guys, and they should be able to worship any way they want. Actually, one of the best weddings I ever went to was a Catholic wedding. It was very fun. Very entertaining. I had a good time there. So I don't think that we should be passing any laws or supporting any organization that wants a hardline religious fundamentalism anywhere. But having the Pakistani president come out and say that basically the Taliban is calling for a new world order, falls into the false paradigm that is presented by people like Michael Savage, who tell you that the Muslims are going to bring in this new world order. The Muslims ain't bringing in no new world order, folks, okay? What they're doing is torturing people who rip them off on grain and, some other pretty deplorable things. I mean, a lot of the sex slave trade is brought to, Saudi nationals and that sort of thing. And it's very disturbing that, Europe and American people are kidnapped and sold to the sex trade, and DynCorp is involved. But I just wanted to read this. This is off of Al Jazeera English. Taliban wants new world order. Asif Ali Zardari, the Pakistani president, has said that his country's fight against the Taliban is not just a domestic battle, but one the whole world needs to be aware of. See, this is all propaganda and hype. This is so that you can associate the quote-unquote new world order when it's, presented as evil with the Taliban and Muslim extremism. Speaking during a news conference in London with Gordon Brown, the British Prime Minister Zardari said the Taliban are seeking to create a new world order and that more effort was needed by the international community to defeat the fighters. See, he makes it about an Islamic new world order, one we will never see, folks. The new world order that they have in mind has a new age religion, okay? And most of us dead and enslaved. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. We're going to go to John, Mike, and Laura on the other side. It's the Info Warrior. All right, folks, I'm going to take one call, and then I'm going to go to this video of Saudi Arabian torture. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to be rough for you if you're watching home on the prisonplanet.tv. This is a 45-minute video, and the stuff they show is only about 3-4 minutes long, and they tell you there's a lot worse that we didn't show you. And I can only imagine what happened to this guy. But we're going to go to Mike in D.C. first. Mike, what's on your mind?
How you doing, yo?
Good, man.
Hey, have you seen the diversity spotlight from the Delaware Department of Transportation yet?
No.
You heard about this? Let me tell you a little bit about this. This might just lighten the spirit a little bit before the next segment.
Okay.
It was put out by the Delaware Department of Transportation last month. You can go to DelawareOnline.com and find it, or just Google after some of this stuff I say. But basically what it is a way to communicate with coworkers. So let's say you have a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender coworker. You don't want to say, I don't consider you gay, or have you thought about getting help? Or you don't want to call them other names. Let's say you have an Asian coworker. You don't want to say, you must be the new IT person. All Asians are not IT professionals.
Really? You're kidding? Wait, no, and they don't just eat rice? I thought that they were slanty-eyed people that just ate rice and played with computers. I'm wrong? I'm being sarcastic, folks.
You should
Keep
not
going.
say that. Can you recommend a good Chinese restaurant? All Asians are not Chinese. Take some time to study a world map. The world is made of continents and many countries.
Oh, my
wow,
God.
You're from India? My neighbor's from India. Do you know him? You don't want to say that.
You don't want to say that your neighbor's from India if they're from India?
Do you know him? It's what you're not supposed to say.
It sounds pretty wild, man.
You're never supposed to ask your Latino coworkers if they can help you out with your weed whacking or your landscaping, rather.
Yeah, because that's what you would do if they're working with you in a business office. Hey, you want to come by and earn some extra shekels? I mean...
It's hilarious. You should really look it up and read through it.
All right, yeah, I definitely will. I wrote it down. Diversity, Delaware Department of Transportation. Thanks for the call, Mike. That does lighten it up quite a bit before we get to just Torture Fest 09, right here, right now, Saudi Arabian style. Hit the clip. Go ahead.
خليك جواد انت تسوي فلوس عشان خلاص ما الشيخ يعطي فلوس زياده 50
See, this is an abridged version without the actual reporting on it. But they're showing it right here. I mean, this guy is getting just beaten repeatedly right now after sand was shoved in and they took an automatic weapon and fired it literally a foot away from him. Oh, this is nice. They're going to run him over? Oh, my God. I did not see this part. Oh, my God. All right, so that's not the story. I wish we could have saw the story. Basically what happened, and the story one was much worse because they show him taking a board with a nail in it and beating him with a board with a nail. They didn't even show the pouring salt in the wounds in that one. I'll have to find it during the break. It was actually really tough. It seemed like they buried it during the day because it was one of the top stories this morning. But we had a real problem going on the ABC site and finding it. We'll definitely bring you more of that clip and the story behind it because the story is just fascinating. This other guy who worked with this Saudi royalty, this diplomat, was imprisoned for taking the tape. He said he had destroyed it. He didn't, obviously. They imprisoned him for 3 months, and I'm not even going to tell you what they did to him. I'm going to let the news tell you what they did to him because I don't want to get that graphic on the program. So we'll do that at the 30 after, or the 33 after. Take some more calls. Let's go to Laura in Michigan. Laura, you're on the line. Yes.
Oh, this is Chris.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, what's up, Chris?
Yeah, hey, guy. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I set up a new website, but to respond to your point that the New World Order guys do study something like New Ageism, but they turn the symbology upside down. Mm-hmm. And you and I would agree that civil disobedience is something that Gandhi promoted very was very efficacious at promoting. He wasn't the first, but he was initiated in Kriya Yoga. And that was by the person, Paramahansa Yogananda, who brought it to this country in the 1920s.
And he was also a member of the Theosophic Society that also has, occultic ties and Satanist ties. I mean, I know that as well. I mean, I'm not saying here that Gandhi is perfect. He definitely, has some background to look into. Even Martin Luther King Jr., there are some people out there that oppose some of the things he did. But I think that the only two examples we really have in history of civil disobedience working on a massive level in that type of a movement would be Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. But continue.
Well, I just to talk about those of us who you would say are in the occult, that there are things that are occult means hidden, things that are deliberately hidden, and things that we just haven't perceived yet. And for someone like Tony Blair, I wanted to use him as an example when he says that he goes around and sits in the white light and whatnot. I would say that's co-opting the white light, and he probably embraces and thinks the opposite of white light. But if he can use that to make someone second guess, loving white light and visualizing that, well, then he'll have millions of people thinking opposed to that. So that's a kind of double think that they would use, and those